We want to bring in Texas Congressman Michael McCaul, chairman of the Homeland Security Committee. Congressman, welcome. What a difficult day, and your thoughts on what we've just learned, sir.
Well, it's just utterly tragic. My thoughts and prayers go out to the victims and their families. Again, as you mentioned, this is one of the largest attacks on a military installation in the United States. It's very significant. 12 fatalities is extremely sad and tragic. I think, as Catherine mentioned, the FBI taking the lead is also very significant. This makes them beyond the installation itself. And the idea that there are two possible suspects, in my judgment, if this goes from just a lone gunman to a concerted conspiracy, that really raises the stakes here in terms of what was the motivation, which we don't know at this point in time.
In terms of Homeland Security and what you're chairman, obviously, of the Homeland Security Committee, what would Homeland Security's involvement be at this stage of the game?
Well, staying at the federal, state, and local level and running these records. As you mentioned, I think they mentioned NCTC is going to be running records found on the dead gunman to find out what his ties are. Homeland is tied to travel, so anytime people travel with this documentation, that's what they're going to be focused on. And I think what it's tragic enough. We just want to make sure that all the leads are properly followed. It is reminiscent to me, not too far from my home city of Austin, where Fort Hood occurred. It is very reminiscent of that day, and I pray that it doesn't extend anything towards a terrorism tie.
Yeah, I mean, that obviously is the big question right now, right? I mean, as you look at this and you do think about Fort Hood, and you can't obviously jump to any conclusions. Some people feel that conclusions were jumped to in that case. But if we are dealing with perhaps 3 people in this, it raises that question.
Of course it does. Again, I think it's important not to jump to conclusions, but that's obviously something that Joint Terrorism Task Force is going to be looking at in terms of whether this man's background, where these other 2 suspects, their ties, anything, and what are their backgrounds. And we just don't have the answers at this point in time, and I think it'd be irresponsible to a lot of conclusions. That would be the focus of the investigation.
We do know it's a tragedy and a lot of sadness today. Congressman McCaul, thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thanks, Marlon. Thanks for having me.